One.
Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to Rum Diaries second test day 2
Ram
review.
Diaries. Y'all forgot the name? It's Ram Shot.
Rum Shot Diaries. Boy, it's been that kind of day. It's been that kind of day. We're forgetting everything. I'm forgetting my own name. Michelle's drawn for the Ray and Nephew. That type of day as well.
Definitely that type of day, man. You can't have
Nikhil, before we get into things, how are you doing on this fine Friday?
I'm great. I missed the Twitter battles I had to face from a certain man on Carib Cricket, but you know, I'm already used to dealing with the pessimists.
Wait, hold on. So to clear this up, obviously, I don't want to be associated with any pessimism from our Twitter followers.
Who is bringing pessimism?
I've been out, so I heard someone was bringing pessimism from Nikhil, isn't it? So I haven't seen the tweets yet, but
Marshall, you brought extreme pessimism.
I was great. I was getting curry goat with coleslaw and white rice. Always white rice, never rice and peas. It's like it couldn't have been me. I'm not a pessimist, but I got some talking points that we got to get through. Rare Nephew and Ginger Beer for me is a mixer today, you know. It's been
no Duppy Rum or Duppy Share or whatever it's called.
No, Duppy Share have let me down, man. They've let me down, but I'm still chasing them. They know they need to jump on the Rum Shot Diaries wave. Don't worry, they'll be with us before this test series is out. So, England ended the day on 469 for 9 declared. West Indies in reply faced about 10 overs, 32 for 1. John Campbell gone, obviously, before the close of play. West Indies are about 430 odd behind or something like that. What's up, Leah? What do you make of that day then? We're well behind the 8 ball. What do you make of it, Santoki?
Frustrating day. I mean, England, boy, they did what we knew they were capable of. They dug in, put together a big total. The only plus side was, as we said yesterday, West Indies was still disciplined. It wasn't until the end when it kind of fell apart. We'll get into that. But until the first 2 sessions, I felt it was a disciplined performance. The bowlers weren't bowling too bad. It was just England that just dug in. Stokes and Sibley especially, was just leaving everything and only taking singles, miserly singles. The one benefit, I guess you could say, is maybe they perhaps went a bit too slow for their liking. They spent a lot of time at the crease, so that's pretty much 2 full days gone now. But definitely, first 2 days have been completely England's, and it's now a big challenge ahead for West Indies to salvage a draw. I would say. I think West Indies can't win it from this point. I think you guys would agree.
Yeah, win ain't even. Win was out of the window by London. Yes, you're right. So let's deal with the positives first. It was disciplined soccer. You have to be careful how we use the word disciplined here. It was a disciplined defensive performance. I think at about very soon after we used the new ball today, I think Jason accepted we're not going to get any wickets.
Yeah.
And now we just need to restrict as much as we possibly can. So we stopped. So I'll accept a disciplined performance in the context of defensive cricket. And actually, we stopped Stokes going berserk when he clearly wanted to. But the bowlers, all of them, except I would say Alzari, looked all tired and like they were a click under what they were in the first test. Shannon looked like an ironing board for the whole 2 days, like anything. So there is a huge question mark to be asked, and everyone can say it's hindsight, but it was a 3-day turnaround from the first test to the second test, and we went with the exact same team. We chose to bowl first, whether it's our strength or not. We chose to bowl first, including a bowler. When we did talk about this before the second test, including a bowler who has just come off a 7-month layoff. And now that same bowler looks like he is all tired and messed up. Go, Nikhil.
Thanks, man. I couldn't do all that pessimism. It was hard. I couldn't see properly, you know. I couldn't fight through all of that. Right. Hello to everybody. Just bar these 2 guys, you know. It sounds so...
Me, you know. I'm not...
You would watch this and just turn it off. It's so sad. It's so sad from Marshall, but, you know, it's not been disciplined. Let me just tell you all something. No team, y'all tell me that like the Indias, the Australians, fine, right? 162 overs in the field is always going to be tough. I was pretty, you know, You talk about the old West Indies, Marshall, and the old West Indies, England would have got 650 runs. They still, I think it was 57 runs in the first session or something like that. They still control. It was probably better for us to have Sibley at the crease because he was scoring so slowly. And I actually couldn't believe it because when he looked at his strike rate in T20 cricket, it's 122. And the guy looked like he cannot find runs anywhere. So anyways, I wasn't too upset about that. I thought, Stokes, we know he's capable of. And as you said, Butler, these guys, and West Indies did okay to put it back. Towards the end, I'll say Shannon Gabriel's run-out chance, a couple of drop catches and stuff. But, you would expect that. In terms of the selection, now, I'll say, yes, it was a risk, as I touched on Twitter. But what I'll say to that is I think, personally, the West Indies' hands are tied when it comes to selection. Yes, they could have gone the route of dropping Shannon Gabriel, but the way I think they looked at it was, listen, guys, this is the second test, and we're going to go for it in this test. If we get a win or a draw, we know we have the trophy. Shannon Gabriel just took 9 wickets. Zari didn't bowl bad in the second innings. Jason, for obvious reasons, will play on Kimaro. So you look at the bench and what we have, it's not England where we have experience and guys doing well in home conditions. We have Shamar Holder, someone that's never played a test match. Ray Marifa's played one. And obviously in the reserves, you got Keon Hardy and these inexperienced guys. So personally, I think I can't fault the West Indies selection. The only thing I'll say is that I would have supported Raheem Cornwall. And I think Roston Chase today showed why. And I know all three of us said that he should have played. So, yeah, that's what I'll say.
I actually think
that doesn't sound any different to what I just said, in fairness. But go on, Santoji.
No, I actually think, because at one point England were like 340 for free. So that was when you're thinking they're going to get 600. West Indies came back, got England to 427 for 9, which, although a big score, the amount of wickets they got in a short period would have given them confidence. But it was that last wicket stand between Broad and Best where we saw Gabriel with the shocking attempted run out, which I don't even know what happened there. He caught the ball and then just didn't hit the stumps. And then Roach obviously fumbling the catch and it going for 6. Broad and Best put on 42 runs. I think even more so than the runs, it's just the amount of confidence that took out the West Indies team. Just it drained them completely. They were tired, and then that last wicket stand just demoralized them completely. So I think it's going to be hard for them to come back from that. And 469 is a very imposing total compared to 427, which they could have got England all out for. So I think West Indies didn't help themselves, but it was linked to the fatigue, especially obviously in Gabriel and Joseph. But I can see what Nikhil was saying. You want to stick to a winning formula. If the players said they were good to go, if it looked like they were fit and they'd won the first test so comprehensively, you would think, okay, let's just chance it in the second test. But hindsight's a beautiful thing, as we said yesterday, and it's clearly backfired.
Well, there was no hindsight in needing to pick Raheem Cornwall. I didn't need to see this to know that Raheem Cornwall should have played because I'd been calling it from before the second test. I said that they'd go with the same team, but it would be foolish to do so, and that Raheem Cornwall should play. How can we have a part-time spinner? He's better than a part-time spinner. How can we have someone slightly better than a part-time spinner picking up 5 wickets, and we've got the frontline spinner just sitting on the bench when anybody with sense could have seen that a spinner was needed for this game? So yes, I accept that. We thought they'd go with the same team.
Who would you have dropped, Marcel? Who would you have dropped?
I told you, Alzari Joseph would have been dropped for me. I would have dropped Alzari. There's no time for sentiment in sport. Just because you win a game doesn't mean you don't make changes. So to go back to your earlier point, Nikhil, use the Aussies in the Ashes. Yes, they've got better players quite significantly. But the point is you utilize the resources that you've got. You don't have to play the same team. England have dropped Jimmy Anderson, who's their best bowler, because they're utilizing the resource. They dropped him regardless because they're utilizing the resources that they've got. So we can say things like Reef has only played 1 test, Shamar Holder's never played, but that will be the argument all the time. In that case, they'll never play cricket. At some point, you have to give people a chance. But I'm not even talking about them because I wouldn't have even played them. I'm just talking about Raheem Cornwall, who should have played. And you know what the joke is? Raheem's going to play in the 3rd test. And we'll look back and go, so why did he not play in the 2nd test then? But whatever, it is what it is. England got to 469. Yes, it unravelled at the end. Now, in fact, let's not even talk about it. It unravelled. They're tired. It kind of makes sense.
It is what it is, yeah.
John Campbell.
Jamaican, touch on him, please.
I will, but I've never defended John Campbell in the sense of... Hold on.
What?
Test, I said the Jamaicans won it, but that doesn't mean I think John Campbell is a test batsman.
Listen. Last test, you were banging on about Campbell hitting the winning runs as if he was the new Gary Sobers out here.
No. Last test, I said John Campbell hit the winning runs, and he did. But you also remember on day 3, I said Campbell should just hit 4s and 6s.
Yeah.
Remember me saying that? And the reason why I said that is because he doesn't have a good enough technique to survive in test match cricket. So my argument is, if we're going to persist with someone like John Campbell, tell him to just play attacking innings. Because if he tries to just stick around, they will get him every single time. He doesn't have a good enough technique for test. This has been since his debut that it's obvious he doesn't have a good enough technique. So let him play to his strengths. Go on, Nikhil.
Yeah, I just want to talk. You see this person saying, I think Bravo and Hetmeyer are going to walk back and just say, you know, something that just popped in my head reading that. If John Campbell doesn't have a lengthy stay in Test cricket, I think a way that the West Indies could go is if they wanted to try Shea Hope at the top, it could actually open up a spot for one of the Bravo or Hetmeyer along with the current batting lineup. Yeah. So it could work, to be honest. But we have a lot of comments on Campbell, so I'm just going to bring them up. Oh, sorry, wait. This one is first. Campbell deserves a series. Hope has been getting way too many chances.
Yes, and hold on, let me touch on that. This is the problem with giving someone like Shai Hope so many chances. Because if we drop Campbell, and to be honest, I would drop him at the end of the series. I think he deserves the series personally. But if we drop him, he would have every right, and a lot of the batsmen would have every right to say, but Hope has got tons and tons and tons of chances. How am I getting dropped after how many tests? So Campbell debuted against England last year, I think. So he's played the England series, the India series, Afghanistan, and now this one. So 4 series. And if he doesn't perform, he could get a drop. He could have to hold a drop at the end. But I could understand why he'd feel aggrieved. And Nikhil, you're right. If Hope gets dropped, that only leaves one space for either Bravo or Hetmeyer. If you want both of them in the team, something else has. Like, I don't see how both get in the team at the same time. So, anyways, yeah. Let's at least give Campbell the second innings to see what he does.
Should Hope be dropped for Cornwall if Hope fails? No, I don't think so. You can't replace a bowler.
I said that's what I would have done this test if I was picking. I would have dropped Hope and just added Cornwall because you need.
Yeah, but then our batting looks so thin, Santo.
Yeah, but Cornwall. Based on Hope's current form, I'd back Cornwall to score more runs than Hope's going to score this test.
You know, personally, I know we should not be talking about a third test, but you know, I really want to see. I want to see these guys get a run out. Guys like Nkrumah Bonner, Ray for these guys play in the third test. If we draw this test match, because we have the wisdom regardless, and I want to see them get up. As you made a good point, Masha. If we keep winning that logic that these guys have never played, it's going to always be like that. So it's time to give him an opportunity. I think Ray Marifa deserves. He's traveled with the team for a long time. And Shamar Holder, it'd be good for him to get a game on his belt. We've got exciting fast bowlers, Keon Harding, Marquinhos Minley, if any of the others are injured. But I think if these same fast bowlers are to play the third test, one of them is going to break it down for sure.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't think there's any way on earth Shannon Gabriel's playing the last test. I think he's done.
I think Alzari may be done as well. Looking at that tricep injury, Kemar Roach looks pretty banged up. These guys are bowling a lot of.
I'm 100% sure that Shamar Holder's going to play the third test.
I would be shocked. Should West Indies? They got to look for runs. You got to be positive.
They did that today, to be honest.
You can't. Yeah. They haven't got the players to block.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I was pretty shocked at the approach by Alzari Joseph. I was kind of getting a little uncomfortable towards the end because he was playing a lot of shots. Anything full he was going at, and I was like, well, he's a night watchman. I was kind of getting a little sketchy, but he survived in there.
I think Alzari Joseph, bearing in mind he's obviously lower, he hasn't got the technical skills as such. He's gone with attack as the best form of defense. So he probably thought my best bet is to just attack. Because if I keep blocking, I'm going to get out anyway. So and I think tomorrow morning you're going to see him just swinging and get as many ones as possible.
You know what though, with Alzari though, as he also showed, he can play proper cricket shots. So he doesn't have to play reckless cricket. He could play proper.
And he did defense solidly.
So he could play. He could come tomorrow and just play proper cricket shots and wait till he gets a good one, and he'd make what, a 30?
He'll score 30 tomorrow.
Enough to play off the back of that.
He will score 30 tomorrow. I'm telling you.
Who's next?
Yeah, this is next one. Oh wait, let me just say quickly on this. All right, I forgot. Just continue. Thoughts on why Roston Chase is underrated by England fans? Feels like flat out hubris to me that they could not possibly lose wickets to a part-timer.
Well, there was a point in today's cricket where I started to wonder, and I've said this before, I think in one of the podcasts, Roston Chase is actually an all-rounder now. He's not a frontline spinner. He's not a frontline spinner, but he can legitimately perform both disciplines now. Is that right? Is that fair? Is that too much praise?
I'd say he was an all-rounder. He's not like a Brathwaite who just had a remarkable spell in one test, for instance. He's consistently shown he can take wickets. So he's not your go-to frontline spinner, but he can perform the bulk of spinning in an innings.
The problem is, how many overs did he bowl today? Like 40 plus?
Something like that.
We should never be putting Roston in that position where he has to bowl 40 plus overs, knowing, let's say there's a collapse early tomorrow. Roston shouldn't come out. You can't give him 40 overs and then tell him to come number 5. They should promote Blackwood ahead of him and say Roston needs to get a bit of a rest. You can't have him 40 plus overs and say jump in number 5 and play a good inning. Mad.
So this is the next one. My guy Azari's got a technique for number 3. Gonna get the runs.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
Stack's been on the run.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking, Bartica? Nah, he ain't got number. I mean, his runs in domestic cricket in this year's comp shows that he's got a good enough technique to bat. He's not a number 3 though, but I think Alzari does take his batting seriously. So, like I say, Nikhil and I think he'll get a 30 tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me. In fact, that's what he should be aiming for, minimum. To be honest. Well, what Nikhil? Wait, Nikhil sent himself a message.
I'm just posting it. So that everybody can see my prediction when it actually happens.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but I mean, for once I'm agreeing with your prediction.
Yeah, because he's already on what? What's he on, like 14? So
14, yeah.
Few swings
he's on 14, yeah. The one thing I wanted to say before, though, I was happy with his approach in terms of at the crease, and especially Craig Brathwaite as well, not getting too stuck in, the two of them really looking for runs. But I would have really obviously liked Campbell to stay, but we know what happened there. Leah's saying a batting friendly pitch on day 3 might secure the Wisdom Trophy for the West Indies. Personally, I want the rain to fall all day tomorrow.
Same.
Hey, what's your pessimism? Too much pessimism.
Nah, that'll help us draw. I need it.
Me, man.
I think if the rain doesn't fall tomorrow, I'll be scared, boy, because we have to bat day 3.
Come on, as cricket fans, how can we be hoping for rain? This is against the fundamentals of the game.
Nah, rain. I'm begging for rain tomorrow. What are you talking about?
Santoki, would you rather see a day's cricket or would you rather retain the Wisdom Trophy?
I'd rather see a day's cricket because retaining the trophy.
No, man, come on.
Nah, we want to see rain to lessen the amount of time that England win the game.
I want to see someone like Brathwaite or Hope or these guys put together, try and bat out in a tense situation.
They will. The next day, they'll do it on day 4, and then we'll be good.
Speaking of Hope, though, how important is Hope's next innings? That's actually Alzari came because they didn't want to expose Hope, obviously, as with 4 overs or whatever it was to go. If Hope fails in this if Hope fails in this test match, I think he's done. Even if he performs suddenly in the last test, I think he would be done if he failed in this test match.
Who's our next test assignment against? Do we even know?
We don't know yet. It's whether South Africa decide that they want to rearrange or if we go to. We were supposed to go to New Zealand and Australia, weren't we? For
that's T20s. That's T20s.
And that's probably being cancelled. So
yeah,
we don't know yet.
I don't think if Hope fails in this test, he's done. I think they'll get him to the end of the series. I think personally, but then when you have Bravo and Hetmeyer come back in and Shamar Brooks scoring runs, Blackwood scoring runs, it does make things very interesting. But don't be surprised if Shea Hope gets that John Campbell opening spot just to change things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
The real question is which batsman will take home the Brian Close Memorial Medal for the batsman that's taken the most bodily damage during the series.
Who's even winning that at the moment? Stokes has taken a few blows.
I'll tell you what, Shane Dowrich behind the stumps, my word.
Shane Dowrich.
He's taken some serious... Yeah. I think... I'm trying to think which batsman. Maybe John Campbell did take, with the foot in the first test, and he's taken a few as well. But
John Campbell's got to be winning at the moment because he had to go off.
I don't see too many genuinely good fielders in West Indies Test cricket. So I disagree. I think Shannon Gabriel is one that's not good. but I think a lot of them are good.
He's saying he doesn't see good ones. Oh, you think the rest are good?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Jermaine Blackwood, I think, is a fielder.
Blackwood's fast.
Excellent. He's the best. He's our best fielder for sure.
But most of them are pretty good. It's just, I think that last spell, they were just exhausted. So
yeah,
it just happened.
We pulled up already. There aren't too many. Oh, wait, what? He sent it twice. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, my goodness.
Nikhil, how much did you pay Arya, man, to write this question?
I don't even know who this guy is, but listen to me, right?
From Barbados.
Give that opening spot to Shane Mosley. I'm telling you. When Shane Mosley debuts in Test cricket.
Nikhil, stop. We're going to actually give you the forum here. In 1 minute, explain to us and everyone why Shane Mosley's ready for Test match cricket.
Well, I just think personally, as I've said many times, in the last 4 for his last season, he scored over 450 runs. In his first season, he scored over 500. But it's not only about the stats. I think in terms of his temperament, he's a lot in terms of a left-handed opening batsman that you see in John Campbell. You're going to get somebody that's a lot more compact, can build you a platform like a Craig Brathwaite to then, push on innings. He's not going to score at the fastest rate like a Campbell, but what he will do is get set and then score runs. He has a really good rapport with Craig Brathwaite. The two have opened for Wanderers. They've opened for Barbados. And I think, listen, the guy's been doing well for the last 4 seasons and he deserves his chance. You know what I mean? To do well in terms of, just playing in the West Indies team. I'm not sure when that chance will come, but when it does come and he scores runs, I'm going to clip this part and just remember.
Oh, yeah. We hear you. I gave you the chance. He could well play. Yes. So that's Shane Mosley. Yeah, I still don't know what this thing is in South Africa. I haven't been paying any attention to it. Some kind of 3T tournament or something they're calling it.
Yeah, it's the eight aside 3 team. It's an interesting concept. I think people were saying that they could bring that back to make things pretty interesting, like a new format of cricket. But there's so many different formats now.
How many overs is it though?
12 aside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Holder's gonna bat at 9 now. Should he be promoted?
No.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's just a number, guys. Don't forget. So he'll be batting at 9, but at the same time it'll already be 8 if we're not counting Diaries.
Yeah.
Need rain tomorrow and get at least 350. It's going to be extremely tough.
Okay, I'll just quickly touch on that. That's the goal for me. If we get 350, we save the Test match.
Yeah, I think so.
I think if we can, the aim should be 300 plus. If we get 300 plus, England run out of time to be able to bowl us out again, or they are likely to run out of time. So on TV today, in fact, no, it wasn't TV. It's when I was on radio comms, and I think it was Gary was saying every team who comes into bat for their first innings, their aim should be to bat 7 sessions. And he said, if West Indies set up to bat 7 sessions, they'll save the Test match because they'll leave too little time left for England to do anything about it. So it's not about, I wouldn't care tomorrow. If we do, okay, so let's say rain doesn't come, our approach should be similar to what Sibley did and Stokes did. It's not about how quick you're scoring the runs. Even if we have to drop anchor and it's like 50 runs per session, who cares if we're not getting out?
Yeah, sure.
372 balls for 120, boy. Wow.
If Craig could do that, I'm not complaining.
Nah, I want Craig to get 100. Anyway, it comes.
Up if you get 372 balls. So the question mark is whether our batsmen have the technique to survive that long. That's the big issue.
Yeah, the thing for me is that I completely agree. I think if we do get 300 at least, England don't have enough time, and that would take the entire day for providing there's rain tomorrow. England don't have enough time to set a score. They'll probably declare probably 2 hours after, at lunch really, and then hope for a miracle. But I think we're going to be good if that happens. So yeah, that's the ideal situation. But they've got to bat properly. Curran looks dangerous, and you saw what I saw that was key. The ball's still swinging, no matter old or new. So these bowlers are always going to be in the question. So yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah.
I'm actually worried about Wokes as well, massively. Yes, brilliant. Thanks, Sean. So Met Office weather forecast looks like a lot of rain. So Santoki's trying to say he wants a day of cricket. That's brilliant. Let's hope the rain comes all day. I wouldn't care if there wasn't one ball tomorrow. Wouldn't even care.
Well, at least if it rains, it gives more of a chance of Mike Atherton shouting out our podcast again. So that's always one benefit.
Last few comments.
Yeah, last few. Don't think shoehorning Hope as an opener sends the right message when there are others waiting in the wings, especially with his struggles against pace.
That's what I agree with that, because why are you giving Hope? Why are you giving Hope the chance to come into the side again as an opener over a Mosley or De Silva? What is the? Because it's not even as if it's not even if Hope is like is that young really. What is he? 26, 27. So it's like he should. You can't go with the potential line anymore.
Fair enough. What if Holder took Sibley's catch when he was on 68 yesterday? 250 all out, England.
I think, and the score was, what was the score at that time? It was like 190 for 3. And it was an easy catch as well. So.
But it's easy to dwell, especially in cricket 5 days. You've got so many things you can dwell on. What if? So we just have to just push forward.
Yeah, so guys, send us any last final things as we wrap up. Personally, I'll say, yes, it was not a great day of cricket for the West Indies, but improved compared to yesterday. We took wickets in clusters, and I was impressed with the temperament Brathwaite showed at the end. He knew he had to get in there, but he still was positive in a way and got us to 32. That's not too bad. Obviously, we'd never like to lose that first wicket, but yeah. And we got lucky towards the end. Alzari Joseph was plumb dead in front, but they didn't review.
Oh, yeah, forgot to mention that, yeah. So last thing then, West Indies. So two things. One, West Indies player of the day. And 2, because Nikhil loves to lie and say he got it right, a specific prediction about how much West Indies are going to make. You can't say under a number. You have to say an actual total and stick to it. So first thing, West Indies player of the day, Nikhil.
Roston Chase, obviously. And I'm finally getting to go first, so I'm going to say Roston Chase. I mean, 5 wickets. There's a stat. He's the second West Indies bowler since 19-something. The first, since 19-something. To get a 5-wicket haul in the first innings in England. So credit to him. And I think he's more and more showing, as you said, that he's not a part-time bowler and he's a capable off spinner.
First since Alf Valentine in 1950 when he spun bowled with Sonny Ramadhin. So
I guess we're all going to say Roston Chase then, I guess.
Yeah, Chase. It has to be.
Chase. Yes, it's right. It's important to survive the follow-on. I think we will, but that's the first target. Right, now, before we get to Leah, numbers. How much will the West Indies make to it's going to rain. So, okay, so let me rephrase that question, because it might be that tomorrow is when this comes. It might be that Sunday is when this comes into fruition. How much will the West Indies make in their first innings? Specific number, and whoever gets closest wins.
Thank you. Whoever gets closest. So if you say 200 all out, no. Hold on. If you say 200 all out and the person gets 204, they're obviously closer. So I've won that one. Just making it clear.
Okay, yeah, I've made it clear. Whoever gets closest wins.
All right.
Now, I'll go first to put you lot under pressure and to make it easier for you.
No, I want to go first. Go
on, let Nikhil go first.
So what's the answer? 300. Okay. Yeah.
I'm telling you, and then, I'm going to even pinpoint Craig Brathwaite to score 100. Alzari Joseph. No, I want to say it though. Craig to score 100. Shane Dowrett to score 100 as well. Or actually, no. Shane Dowrett / Jason Holder to score 100 between the one of them. Just saying.
All right, it's a
2 guys are going to score
100 and score 300.
300.
It's already 32 for 1,
300.
Okay, 300. Santoki.
I'll go 240.
What? No, man. No. You have that little faith?
Okay, check this.
Y'all are pessimists, man. Honestly.
You haven't even answered yet. I'm going 365.
What? Yes, man. Yes.
300.
I've converted one. Guys, I've converted one.
365.
What makes you think that? What makes you think so?
I genuinely think we're going to bat well. I think the conditions will help England. I think they've got the bowlers to take. I think England's bowlers, particularly Wokes, in fact, all 3 of them, I think will take they will bowl better in the conditions. But I think West Indies know that one good innings saves this Test match. If they don't have to bat well twice, if they bat once properly, there's just not enough time. So I'm going 3. What did I say? 365.
365. And the surface is very good as well. So I would love that. I would love if you could win, Marshall.
If West Indies
250, 300 or 350. That's basically what we said.
Yeah. So if West Indies get 270 or under, I win, basically.
Okay, but still. All right, last couple of things to wrap up. That 13 thing in South Africa is a gimmick, but rain in Manchester will allow me to experience it fully without any rain. Rain.
I won't pay any attention to it, Leah, but do let us know how it goes.
Roach is Renil's player of the day. 2 wickets of the play finally got a wicket through. Not how Kimar would have envisioned his first wicket on tour. Haha. It's true. I mean, a reverse slog.
Anything. He'd take anything at this moment in time.
Yeah, he'd take anything.
I was happy for him. Last one. Well, I think we're going to save this to probably later down.
We'll save that until the second test is over.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We've enjoyed your questions, and we'll still be hip. We'll be back tomorrow, even if it rains. I'm sure we'll find something to talk about. But yeah, take it easy, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys tomorrow.
Wicked.